Hey, I'm Advith, CTO and co-founder of Pylon. Pylon is the support platform built for B2B. We capture every piece of communication between you and your customer over any channel and use AI to power your ticketing workflow from end to end. So let's take a look at how Pylon works. Pylon can help you intelligently route issues to the right place. You can use our triggers engine to set up rules using AI to route issues to the right place depending on what they're about. So here I have a trigger set up when a team gets set to our support team, and the question is about billing or subscription management, invoices, or really anything about contract details or billing. I automatically assign this to our billing team and add some metadata to the issue. And I can create a whole set of rules to push issues to the right place, combining a bunch of AI rules based on what the content of the issue is about, and a bunch of deterministic rules like which customer did this come from, or which internal Slack channel did this come from. And this all routes to specific people who are best suited to actually answer those questions. Our goal with Pylon is to surface all the important information you might need to see to help you solve the ticket front and center. So at the top here, you see account highlights. This is any context that Pylon is showing you about this specific customer. So this might be things like their renewal is upcoming, they have negative sentiment, a specific important fact that your CSM might have left about this customer, like the fact that they have a unique setup or they went through a security incident recently. Basically any information you want to know when you're solving the ticket. The bottom part here is Pylon's AI issue suggestions. We're basically showing you any related issues or knowledge base articles or even documentation that lives in places outside of Pylon that we think might be useful for you to solve this ticket. When you hit show more, it shows you all of the actual content here, and clicking on any one of these past issues opens it up in the sidebar. So you still see the main issue you're working on and also all the context from this past issue. Pylon also helps you collaborate with other people on your team who might not be living inside of Pylon every day. I can click internal thread here and open up a thread in Slack that'll still capture all the context of the rest of my team working internally on this ticket. So for this specific issue, I might open up a thread in Bugs Daily because I think this is an especially high priority issue that I want my engineering team to swarm on. And I might leave some additional context here and then hit create. This thread will show up in Slack, and then any context that my engineering team or other folks add will be visible on this ticket and will be captured by Pylon's AI. If you ever need help actually drafting a response to this ticket, you can use Pylon's message copilot to take a quick first pass. It'll basically pull from all of your old issues, knowledge base articles, or really any kind of suggestions for resources that you see here, but use it to draft an actual response you might give to the customer. It'll incorporate like your tone of voice or the way that you've responded to past issues and give you a first pass that you can then view sources here to actually see all the different sources that the copilot used in order to draft its response. So you see past issues here, you see our knowledge base, you see documentation from our public documentation site, you even see entries from our changelog on our public marketing site. The AI is using all of these different things in order to come up with its response. Pylon also gives you this handy copilot in the sidebar where you can see a summary of the issue high level. This might be useful when there's a lot of context, you want someone new to get up to speed quickly. They can just take a look at the summary without reading the entire chain of messages and quickly understand kind of latest state and what the next step is. You can also click into the Ask AI tab here to basically ask additional questions to help you kind of solve this issue. You could ask whether there's an active outage going on. You could use it to help pull up a specific piece of documentation, like asking about what the rate limit for a specific API endpoint is. Or you can invoke other apps like Cursor to help fetch additional context that doesn't live inside of Pylon. Pylon's AI will also help you automatically translate incoming messages. So if your customer speaks French and you speak English and they write in French, you don't need to have a French-speaking support team. Pylon's AI will just automatically translate the message. You can respond back in English and it'll translate it to French on its way out. Pylon also helps you connect your active support investigations to engineering work. So whether that's a bug that comes in that you need to file as a linear or Jira ticket, or a feature request that you also want to file as a linear or Jira ticket, you can do that all straight from Pylon. Pylon doesn't just have your support data, it has all your customer context. So when you're working on a support issue, you can see a bunch of different information here in the sidebar, like things from your CRM about hard contract data, like what revenue this customer has, when their renewal date is, what their contract schedule is, how long they've been a customer, how many seats they've paid for. You can also see a bunch of AI generated fields that you can set up inside of Pylon. Things like, whether they've indicated interest in one of your other products, whether they're using a competitor's product, when their last meeting was, what a summary of what happened in their last meeting was, all this kind of context front and center here for you when you're working on a support ticket. Once you've gone through a support ticket and resolved it for the customer, Pylon helps you kind of memorialize that interaction into a piece of documentation. So I can go to the sidebar here, hit add article, and generate a new knowledge base article based off of how I answered this customer's question. So I'm clicking generate article here. I can even use a template to tell the AI to adhere to having specific sections or specific formatting. Now I'm inside the Pylon knowledge base and I can actually click into that article that just got generated by the AI. Now that I have this article, I can translate this into multiple languages. I can leave comments on it so that other people on the team can review and iterate on the content as well. I have a copilot here so that I can quickly draft additional copy, fix grammar, or basically make small revisions on the article. I can also see all the related issues to this article. So anytime this article was used either by Pylon's AI or you directly by sending a link to the customer, I can see all the examples of issues in the past that this article is related to. Not only can you generate a single article off of a support ticket, Pylon will also holistically tell you where there are gaps in your documentation. So we're basically scanning every incoming issue that you have and grouping them into buckets. So here on this gaps page, I can basically see here's an example of a common question we get, here's the last time it was mentioned, and here's how many times it was mentioned. And I can see whether or not we kind of have a piece of documentation that already addresses this question, whether we don't have one at all, whether we have one and it needs an update, or actually we have one and it does answer the question properly. I can actually take the recommended action that Pylon's AI suggests. So I can either generate an article or actually make an update to an existing article in order to fix the problem that Pylon's AI has identified. You can create an AI agent and train it on some set of documentation, whether that's your Pylon knowledge base, external documentation sources like your docs or your changelog or your pricing page. You can also create what we call runbooks, which are operating procedures for the AI to follow. So in this case, we have a cancellation request. We can tell the AI exactly what to do as part of a customer wanting to cancel their plan, what steps to follow, what fields to set on the ticket, and basically direct the AI at exactly what steps it should take in order to resolve the specific type of issue. You also have a lot of customizability in the workflow for the AI agent. You can use our flexible trigger engine to basically specify exactly what issue should get directed to the AI agent. In the case where the AI agent can't actually answer the question, you can set a really strict policy on escalation. You can assign it back to a specific individual or a specific team, and it'll follow all the normal rules you have set up for that person or team. Pylon also tells you how to actually keep improving your AI agent. Usually this involves iterating on your documentation, so we'll show you how many issues your AI was actually able to assist with, and then like we were seeing on the knowledge gaps page, you can actually click on each individual attempt the AI agent had here, see exactly why it went wrong, what resources it used to answer the question, and then take an actual action, whether that's updating your documentation, creating a new documentation, or redirecting some feedback to your product team. You can also test your AI agent before going live. So we generate a bunch of sample questions for you, and you can see exactly what the flow would look like before actually pushing this out to customers. Pylon can also help you get issues to the right person no matter how complex your business procedures are. So as we talked about earlier, you can use AI to route issues to the right person, or you can create complex schedules to make sure issues land on the right team and on the right person's plate. So I'm inside the support team now. I can click on the assignment tab here and create a strategy for how to assign issues to this team. So I can build essentially a calendar-based schedule, so issues at certain times can go to certain people, or I can set up more complex routing rules like a round robin, so issues rotate between each person on the team. I can set up capacities for different people. Someone who's onboarding or is a more junior support person might only be able to handle 3 tickets at a time, while someone more experienced could handle 10. I can also have issues go to the right person based on which skills are required to solve them. So if an issue comes in that requires knowledge of the API in order to fix them, I can assign my different people on my support team with that skill, and issues will get matched to people with the right skills to solve them. Pylon will also surface anomalies to you automatically. This could be an outage going on, an escalation, or a particularly nasty bug that shows up. At the top of your page when you're viewing issues, you'll basically see a banner that tells you what Pylon thinks is the issue that's going on, and allow you to quickly create an issue group from all the active issues it's seen about that topic. Pylon also has complete reporting and analytics capabilities. I'm in our analytics tab now. You can see a bunch of default dashboards here for things that will be useful for you right out of the box. You can see things like, how many total issues you're getting, split by account, split by time of day, so you know how to staff your support team. You can see kind of how long it takes you to respond to customers, how many times on average you have to respond to a customer in a particular support ticket in order to get to a resolution. You can see different volume by channel, basically a lot of pretty useful out-of-the-box metrics. We have the same sort of default dashboards for a couple different dimensions you might want to slice your data by. So things like looking at CSAT or looking at data by team to see how individuals on your team are performing. You might have SLAs you've committed to your customer, and we have a lot of out-of-the-box dashboards for how fast you're getting back to customers or how fast you're resolving issues. You can also create your own dashboards though and make graphs that are relevant for whatever things you're trying to track. I can also set up reports to send out to a Slack channel of my choice on a cadence. So this could be things like getting, at the end of the day, a list of all the support tickets that are still open, or at the end of every week, using AI to bundle together themes of what the feedback for the biggest bugs were. I can hit create report here, and I have a set of templates I can choose from. I'm gonna pick Daily Digest, and basically this gives me a summary of yesterday's highlights and a list of items that are still open. And this will shoot out to a Slack channel of my choice. I can customize it further with additional sections. I'm on the product tab of Pylon now, and this is what we call product intelligence. Because we see all of your customer communication, whether that's emails or Slacks or Discord messages, Telegram, any communication across any source, we can cluster them all together into feature requests and tell you how important those things are. I can see when they asked for it in a call with one of our CSMs. I can see when they asked it in a support ticket. Every instance of this feature request is basically automatically populated here. I can then pass this over to my product engineering team and basically inform them on what the roadmap should be without me doing a ton of manual work. Say I have like a new idea for something though, like it's not something on this list, but I have a feeling given all the support tickets I've been working on that there's a feature request for a new API endpoint. I can click add feature request here, type in the name of that feature request, so new API for our tasks product, and then hit enter, and this will basically create a new feature request. Pylon's AI will look through every conversation you've had, either synchronous or async, and populate all that information here for you to look at. This is super powerful for letting your support or success team go to your product team armed with a bunch of actual examples for why a specific new feature should be built. Pylon can also be the home base for your customer success team. We basically give you a way to see what's going on with all of your customers automatically. So here's an example of a couple customers, and I have the spreadsheet view where I can see who's the owner of these accounts, a bunch of data coming in from my CRM of what their contract schedule is, when their renewal date is, and what products they've bought. I can see data enriched from the internet of how many employees this customer has. And then I can see some AI fields I've set up. I can tell Pylon's AI what my different products are and what it means for a customer to be interested in each one of them. Then Pylon's AI will look through every conversation I've had with these customers or any kind of custom data I sync into Pylon and tell me whether or not I can upsell these customers on all of these different products. It can also explain itself and actually tell you why it thinks, in this case, I can upsell the specific customer on the specific product. I can also build health scores in Pylon here, where I can use a bunch of different components like sentiment or how much customers are using the product, how well they've set it up to create a score that I can then use to kind of rank my customers and decide where I want to prioritize and where I want to spend my time. You can customize this spreadsheet view to have any column you want. You can also quickly make new columns, whether that's automatically surfacing a summary of what happened on the latest call or what the next step for this customer is, or enrich data from the internet, as we were mentioning earlier, telling me whether or not this company got acquired recently. And then you can have associated motions with each of those. For example, you could have an AI, in this case, flag the customer sentiment. If a customer is frustrated, I can actually click into this and view the reasoning why. So I can see that there's a recent support ticket that really showed that the customer was frustrated about a certain area of the product. I can set up an alert for this using the triggers I was showing earlier, and then my CSM can go action on that. I can also click into each of these customers and see way more context on what's going on. I can set up notebooks for different things that I care about. So I might set up a notebook for how I prepare for meetings. I basically see an AI synthesis of like what I should discuss on the next meeting with this customer, what upsell opportunities are available, things I might want to touch on the call, what the renewal plan is for this customer, what their active issues are. I can basically customize this to be whatever I need it to be for different use cases. So when my exec team needs to see context on customers, they can easily hop in and see curated context, all without doing a ton of manual work. This is all AI generated with the option to like kind of leave your own manual notes wherever required. Like with support issues, I also have a copilot here, so I can ask questions about anything that's happened with the customer. I can ask who a key stakeholder is, whether a certain person is still at the company. I can ask like what their usage looks like over the last month. I can ask what I might want to discuss on the next meeting. Anything I have a question about, I can ask here, and Pylon will pull from all of the available data. You can also use Pylon to manage projects or tasks that you might have going on with customers, whether that's an onboarding plan or a deployment of a new specific part of your product. You can create a template for that and automatically spin up a set of tasks that you can collaborate on with your customer. Those tasks will be visible in your customer portal, so your customers have a place to kind of log in and see the status of how their onboarding is going, or see the status of how a specific new deployment is going. Now I'm in the engagement tab of Pylon. Not only can Pylon help you with your support and customer success workflows, we can also help you keep your customers in the loop when you have new product updates or outage notifications, or really anything you want to communicate out to them. Here I can hit create broadcast and basically draft a message that I want to go out to a set of customers. I can pick whether I want it to go out over email or in their native communication channel, whether that's Slack or Microsoft Teams, and give it a title, a header, and basically a message for what I want to tell these customers. So I can send out something like a launch for a new part of our product out to a bunch of customers all at once and track their engagement with that. And I can use that engagement to then power, whether or not I want to reach out to the customers who haven't engaged to try and, get them to adopt this new part of the product. I can also set up surveys, so things like an NPS survey. I can build my survey right here straight inside of Pylon and then have it send out and have all the scores aggregated all in one spot. I can see these scores in my analytics. I can use them as a component of customer health and use all of that data in the rest of the product. With Ask AI, anyone on my team can ask a question about what's going on with our customers, whether that's in the support context, bringing up issues that have been escalated in the past week, or making a list of bugs reported, whether that's in more of like a customer success context to figure out what's going on with a specific customer, what their sentiment is or what happened with them recently, or in a product context of just aggregating across everything that Pylon knows, what are my top feature requests, or what are examples of quotes that I can use in case studies, or what are examples of customers saying very positive things about the product that I can put on our marketing website. You can do this type of open-ended investigation directly inside of Pylon. That was an overview of Pylon, the support platform for modern B2B companies. No matter where you talk to your customer or how complex your support motion is, we have you covered. One AI native platform for support, success, and all of your customer-facing teams.